Today we're making the ultimate comfort side dish, creamy garlic mushrooms. Tender mushrooms coated in a rich, silky garlic cream sauce that comes together in just minutes. Perfect on toast, over pasta, or as a side dish. Let's get started. For this recipe you're going to need 250 grams of mushrooms, some flat leaf parsley, a few cloves of garlic, a little bit of butter for frying, 300 milliliters of cream, single or double is fine, and a good bit of crusty bread. So we'll be starting this recipe with 250 grams of mushrooms. Now these can be any mushrooms you like, any of your choice. I'm going with chestnut mushrooms because they're widely available, they're cheap and they taste good as well. And first of all we need to wash them. Now you can wash them underwater, it's not really recommended because people say they absorb the water like a sponge, but I'll leave that down to you. Some people prefer to wash them in water, or you can just simply brush them like this and just brush away any of the dirt that you see. And then once they're cleaned, you just want to go through them and cut off the ends of the stem, but you can leave the majority of the stem there. It's just to get rid of the sort of dirty, sort of tatty bits. And then we can break them up or chop them up. And for that, I'm just going to cut them into quarters. But if you want to make it even easier for yourself, you can simply just break them up with your hands as well and just have nice rustic random pieces of mushroom, and it really just adds to the dish. And now we can turn the attention to some garlic, and it's really up to you how much you want to use. I mean, it depends how much you like garlic or how garlicky you want the dish to be. I'm going for a medium level. I'll probably go for 2 cloves of garlic, and I'll just break them off, and then I'm going to roughly chop them until they're nice and small. So I'm just going to start by thinly slicing them, and then I'll run the knife through them using a cross-cutting action to mince them up and get them nice and small. But feel free to put them through a garlic press or grate them on a microplane if you like. And then we're going to do the same with a good handful of parsley, and we'll just tear off some of the leaves and then roughly chop that up. Adding fresh herbs to a dish like this just really helps to elevate it and add an extra bit of flavour. And it's up to you what herbs you want to use really, but parsley goes classically with garlic mushrooms, so it's the obvious choice for me. So now with the prep done, we can get on with the fun part, and that's the cooking. So I've got a pan over a medium-high heat. We want it nice and hot, and then we're going to chuck in about 20 or 30 grams of butter. It's really, you can use as much or as little as you want. 20-30 grams should be enough. And then as soon as it starts to foam, we're going to throw in the mushrooms. Give them a little toss so they're nicely coated in the butter, and we're going to cook them down until they're nice and soft, but also lightly caramelized on the outside. So this should take between sort of 3 and 5 minutes. If you look at that, you can see a nice brown bit of caramelization, and that's what's going to create loads of flavor. If we let them cook too low, they're going to steam and boil, and they're not going to be very nice. And once they're nicely browned off, you can add in the garlic, and then we can cook that out for 2 to 3 minutes. So next we're going to add in a splash of water, and what that's going to do is just deglaze the bottom of the pan and take some of that caramelization off, which is all flavour that needs to be in this dish, and we don't want to miss out on it. Now if you want to, if you're making this as a starter for an evening meal, you could deglaze with a little bit of white wine, but this is more of a breakfasty lunch dish. I'm going to leave the wine out and I'm going with a splash of water instead. Season it with a good pinch of salt and ground black pepper, and then we're going to pour in 300 milliliters of double cream. Bring that to a boil and allow it to reduce down until the sauce thickens and coats the mushrooms nicely. So now with our sauce reducing over there on the stove, we can take our sourdough and cut a couple of nice big wedges. And then we're going to place them under a hot grill to toast on each side. And now that our toast is ready, it's hot, we can place it onto a serving board or a plate. And then there's one final thing we need to do to our sauce, and that's to throw in that handful of chopped parsley we did earlier on, just to elevate the dish. And now it's ready to serve. Spoon the creamy mushrooms over the toast and then finish with a little bit more fresh parsley. And just look at that, beautiful creamy garlic mushrooms, so luxurious, so comforting and beautifully tasty, and I can't wait to try them. These look absolutely delicious. So creamy, A little bit of garlic coming through. Loads of flavour from that caramelisation on the mushrooms. That's a really essential step. Honestly, you're going to love this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.